So it's my pleasure to introduce Eddie Smith, who's going to give our talk today. I asked Eddie for a bit of bio information, and he mainly told me about his spiritual journey. So that's the one that I will give you. He says it began in 1972, and he graduated from Dayton Bible College in 1978. He was associated with several religious organizations until 1985, and then he continued his spiritual journey through self-study and meditation. Currently, he's studying Eastern religions and ancient wisdom. Eddie, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
A couple of weeks ago, my friend Harry asked me my subject matter, and I told him In Search of Truth. Well, he kind of scratched his head and thought for a minute and said, well, good luck with that. I know, I understand. It's a slippery slope. One of the reasons I showed up here some months ago was because of the principles that this church offers. And one of those, of course, is a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. So hopefully today you'll be able to glean some meaning out of what I have to say. We'll see what happens. I didn't grow up in a religious home. Occasionally we'll go to Sunday school or Bible school. My parents were not religious. So I was 21 years old. Was my first introduction into the religious world. I went on at that time believing in a call to ministry, and I became a licensed minister with this organization. Decided to go to Bible school, and the Bible school was not the same organization as the church that I was affiliated with. So I graduated from Bible school in 1978. So after a while, because of my studies, I actually began to question some of the things that I had been taught. Did you ever do that? I began to wonder if it was true. Well, I kind of had this light bulb go off in my head one day as far as what I chose to believe. And the realization was I could be wrong about what I believe. So anyway, that led to other things, and I decided that since I could not agree on all the points of doctrine, I definitely didn't need to be a minister. So I wrote them a letter, and I explained to them, and I put my license in the envelope with a letter and said, I'm sorry, but I just can't believe in all the points of doctrine that this church believes in, so I resigned. Well, they sent me a letter back. Dear Mr. Smith, we're sorry to hear you're leaving. I hadn't planned on leaving, but I did after I got the letter, of course. So that led to other things and kind of threw me out on the curb. And here I am standing on the curb with my Bible in one hand and my Dear Mr. Smith letter in the other. And I started my journey, my search for truth. And it's led me lots of different places. So let's see what happens with this. Life is challenging. A myriad of decisions to be made. Many times our decisions are based on our being able to determine if the information we are receiving is true or false. In the words of Yogi Berra, when you come to a fork in the road, take it. I'm not claiming to have all the answers. What I share is my perspective based on my own life experiences and research. As we grow up, we form a mental image of who we are based on our personal and cultural conditioning. We accumulate many inhibitions, phobias, addictions, dysfunctional, toxic patterns of behavior. When people refuse to look at themselves honestly, they suppress the negative aspects of themselves. The profound truth can become clear. Many questions you might have can be answered. And you might ask how. One must first start with a desire to know the truth. For many, it's irrelevant. It seems easier that way. It's what my parents told me. My pastor. My teachers. It's what my friends and family believe. It must be true. Well, do you ever think they could be wrong? Or they could be right? Do you want to know, is it true or is it not? Desire without action will never answer any questions, reveal any truth, fulfill any purpose, or fill any void. Perhaps you want to approach life from a more empowered standpoint, instead of being the unknowing captive of your unquestioned beliefs. Life offers us the opportunity to decide for ourselves. Effort must be made for a life to be transformed. So I'm searching. How will I know when I have found it? The most difficult question of all, and a question for which in many ways there is not just one answer. However, consider that the truth creates peace, joy, true fulfillment, and a deep sense of purpose. Never fear to question any religious text, thought, doctrine, or dogma. God did not create religion. Religion created God. If we open our mind and ask questions, we might need to rethink how much we know about reality. What we think is not all there is. Daring to explore the unknown and daring to become something completely new will move us closer to understanding the great mystery of life and what it means to be alive. Everything life offers can make one wiser and happier. We all desire peace, freedom, and connection. The truth welcomes your questions. Lies do not want your questions. Our perception is based on how the brain is wired from our experiences in the past. We don't always perceive things in our reality the way they are. We perceive the reality the way we are. And maybe when we see, remember, and wake to what we truly are, human beings can move as a collective consciousness from a state of surviving into a state of thriving. It's then that we can emerge into our true nature and fully access our innate capacity as humans, which is to give, to love, to serve, and to take care of one another and the earth. So why not ask yourself every day, what would love do? Every spiritual journey comes to the point where you're standing at the edge of the abyss, beyond your intellect, into the borderland, and no, there's no visible way to cross it. This point in the journey is called the leap of faith. Not faith in the sense of believing what someone else tells you, but faith in your own non-verbal experiences and inner voice and following what you know to be true in your heart. It is often called blind faith because you are asked to trust in something you can't see. It is not, however, something you can't feel. How many times have you thought that something looks right, but it just doesn't feel right? More often than not, it is necessary to find the feelings and the old pain that is blocking you from truly experiencing life. Release them to find truth, silence, and peace. Perhaps the greatest adventure we can take as a human being is to choose our attitude, what we think, what we do, what we believe. The spiritual you has little to do with what you believe and everything to do with your state of consciousness. What inevitable truths can we uncover by thinking new thoughts and choosing new beliefs, dare to explore the unknown, dare to become something completely new, so that you finally get closer to understanding the great mystery of life and what it means to be alive. Everything life offers can make us wiser and happier. Creating a false self to mask fears and insecurities has become so common that many of us forget who we are and what we feel underneath the pretense. Breaking through this denial is always the first step in uncovering a longing to be honest and clear. Lies and secrets burden us and cause stress. Truth-telling can take away the heavy burden. Change your meaning, change your intention, and you will change the results. The ultimate source of authority is found inside in listening to the authentic voice of the hidden oracle within. In staying true to your feelings and by not conforming to the standards of a corrupt society, is the heart of liberty, is the right to define one's own concept of existence, of meaning, of the universe, and of the mystery of human life. Spiritual formation happens in freedom, not within obligation. Eventually, there is no escaping the big questions. What's my best life? What do I believe? Where do I belong? Social value. Over the years, my ego found a specific way it wants for me to be in order to win the most approval. You don't have to impress the world. The things we thought were most important, achievement, affirmation, and intelligence, are actually less important. Heart and soul are most important. When we are doing what is right for us, we will feel a sense of purpose, meaning, and satisfaction. And that communicates itself to others. We perceive so little and think that is all there is. We might need to rethink how much we know about reality. Whether you believe that a purposeful God or random processes govern the universe is virtually irrelevant. What matters is to what degree we can accept ourselves as ourselves with whatever shortcomings are common to this human state. In the end, we are not here to fit in, to be well-adjusted, acceptable to all, or to make our parents proud. We are here to be ourselves, to come before the reality of who we are, and to realize that in our most precious gift, the salvation of man is through love and in love. Absolute truth is something that is not built by human reason, but simply exists. Life is a short pause between two great mysteries. The truth is awaiting your discovery.